With head coach Ryan Craig as you get ready for game one of round two of this series against Colorado Eagles. A lot of practice time this week. Feels like a better rest period during the playoffs than what we saw during the regular season. How'd you guys put it to work?
Well, I thought we managed our days fine. We practiced 3 days since we finished on last Friday, and we took 3 days off. So it's good for our guys. We're refreshed. We're definitely feel like we're ready to play a game and drop the puck.
I'm sure that the mind frame doesn't change too much, but a 3-game series and a 5-game series are a little bit different in terms of where that margin for error is off the hop. How do you guys approach the first game of this series?
Focused on game one. I think that's the biggest thing. We had a focus kind of the last 2 weeks of the regular season and into game one versus San Jose of a focused on game one and understanding that obviously we trailed in that game and had to come from behind, but being ready to play. Both teams have been off the same amount of time. The only difference is they traveled in, right, Colorado. So we expect teams not to feel each other out too much. I think we saw them 8 times in the regular season. There's not too many secrets on our team, so we'll be. Game one has the importance of obviously you're not facing elimination if you lose, but there's an urgency to get to your game and try to get a result you want.
Each game, of course, has its own elements of puck luck and opportunities, but you mentioned there aren't too many secrets between these two teams. Does that create a chess match of trying to find those different wrinkles, or is it can our system beat your system?
Well, I think a little bit. What's changed probably is the personnel that we've had and the personnel they have had against us as this kind of the season went on. They've added a couple college guys to their lineup, so that changes the little bit of dynamics of their lineup there. Brindley came down from Colorado, so they've added those guys. We've gotten healthy. We've gotten some guys back as well. So our lineups are probably a little bit different than we dressed in all 8 regular season games against each other, and yet the players know each other, whether they're in the NHL or in the American League. They know who they are. They're a good team. It's going to be a real good challenge for us.
Regular season hockey and playoff hockey are not the same, but in those 8 meetings, close games, 1-goal games, overtime games, does it already feel like in those matchups you've played maybe a style of hockey that's necessary to win in this phase of the game now?
Yeah, we've been building our game that way all year. We pride ourselves on checking, defending, five-man groups all over the ice. That's what leads to our transition. Our offensive game is usually checking and defending to those opportunities. We have our standards that we expect to play to. There's obviously a few things we need to be aware of with them, as they'll say about us, but yet we're not going to change our game to the point where something's changing. We understand what works for us, what's made us successful, not just as a group but as individuals. We expect guys to play to their strengths.
We've talked over the last several weeks about some of the top producers and the numbers that they've been putting up, but in the playoffs and the grind you anticipate, you got to be able to count on everybody. Just how important has depth been to this point in the playoff process?
Well, very important. We got guys that are out of the lineup that have played all year that are itching to get back in. That pushes guys for spots. We have guys that could play in certain special teams roles that maybe aren't right now. So there's lots of depth throughout our lineup. We feel that our 12 forwards, 60 and Carl back there are a great group to roll out, and we're confident in that group right now. But there's lots of things that can happen as the series goes on, and the 10 days with the 5 games possible. It's going to be, we expect a long series, a drawn-out series, a series where there's obviously ebbs and flows that you have to manage, along with those decisions on lineup and using our depth.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
With Dylan Coghlan. Dylan, as you guys get ready for round 2 against the Colorado Eagles, we were just talking about a few moments ago, you guys have had a full week of practice. It feels like playoffs, you guys get a lot more rest than you did during the second half of the regular season.
Yeah, no, it's kind of unique with the 3-game series. I've actually never played in one, so it was my first. And this time of year, I feel like it's a week-long break is kind of a treat, and obviously guys aren't feeling 100%, and that's the best thing about playoffs. Though is you go out there and grind, and we're excited.
It hasn't been too long of a rest. You guys have practiced. It's not too far removed from round 1 against San Jose. in which you guys took care of business in a 2-game sweep. How valuable was that? Obviously, you want to win round one, but to do it in a fashion that maybe set the tone for the run you guys hope you're about to embark on?
Yeah, I think with the game possibly being on Sunday, that game 3, finishing on the Friday was huge. I mean, 2 days is at this time of year is a pretty big deal and pretty big advantage. So, I think just kind of finishing that off on the Friday in game 2 and not having that kind of doubt in your mind going into Sunday's game or the possibility of Sunday's game, and it's huge for our group and huge for this round too. Because I think it's obviously going to be a different series. I don't think it's going to be a 3-game sweep by any means on either side. So I think both teams match up well against each other, and it's going to be fun.
I doubt the mindset changes all that much, but with the 3-game series in round 1, the margin for error is razor thin right off the get-go. 5-game series allows for a little bit more breathing room. Is there a little bit of a different mindset rhythm as you approach game 1 of this series?
Not really. I mean, obviously you'd love to finish it in 3, but I just don't, like I just said, I don't think that's realistic for either team. And, I think when you look at both teams, like I said, we both, I think they're saying the same thing as we are. They're probably looking to get on the forecheck, and so are we. So, it's going to be pretty fun, and I've been pretty excited for the last week or so.
8 meetings between these two teams during the regular season, the last of which, though, was at the beginning of March, so they didn't get too much of a look of the second half Silver Knights. Well, a lot of close games, overtime games, 1-goal games. Do you guys feel playoff hockey and regular season hockey are not the same, but have you played maybe playoff-style games against this group already to give you guys an idea of who you need to be?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you look, both our teams are kind of playoff mentality teams, I think, and it does. It's had that playoff feel to maybe not all 8 games, but I think maybe 6 out of the 8 were pretty close games, and I don't think they've seen our best, and I don't think we've seen their best, to be honest. So it's we're a different team now than we were in even a month ago. So we didn't have Bowman. Collins is playing well. Corms is back, and all our D-core is healthy, and I don't think they've seen our best yet, which will be fun.
Lastly, these are two teams that finished right on top of each other in the Pacific Division standings, of course, with the great finish the Silver Knights had. Is there one or two factors you think that might be particularly important in what sets these two groups apart over the course of 5 games?
I don't know if I can give that away. But, no, I think, we're obviously pretty fast, and, we forecheck well, and, I'll just say that.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.